viewers, welcome back to Watch the Time. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for tuning back in. Today I've got a Swiss watch. I haven't covered many of them. This is the Victorinox I.N.O.X, I believe it's called. Really nice. I bought this off TK Maxx. Obviously the shop's closed given because we're in lockdown, but I bought it online. It cost me £160, which is quite phenomenal for a Victorinox if you know what they normally cost. And the sort of probably works out to $200 odd, $220 maybe, which for the Victorinox brand is sensational, and it's very, very well made. There's quite a lot of it I like. Not perfect, a couple of bits I don't also like, but for the most part I really like it. A little bit bigger as well. It's not a small watch, so you'll have to be mindful of that. But if you guys have watched any Victorinox I.N.O.X videos, you'll know they're not cheap. So the fact I managed to get it for 160 off TK Maxx is a bit of a snip. If you look on Amazon today or eBay today, they're going to be a little bit higher than that. So I'm quite happy with this purchase, and I do try and get some Swiss watches in if I can get them for the right price, and off a recognised brand. I think they're better known for the Swiss Army knife. You've probably seen those before. They're normally red, and they've normally got the same logo on it, sort of like a cross. And yeah, I think it's definitely one worth considering. I'm still wearing my fitness tracker. Not that it's not that it's making much difference, but we've got to try in this day and age to try and stay healthy, given all the benefits. But this isn't a health YouTube channel. I just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and I hope this one is right up your street. I will leave a couple of links taking you to this watch. Again, they're not affiliate links, they just take you directly to the watch, just to sort of make your life that bit easier. But by all means, do look it up on Google and see if you can find the best price for yourself and your region and stuff, considering where you're from. But again, thank you for tuning back in. But without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. It's the Victorinox I.N.O.X. This is the packaging it comes in. I'm not sure if there's the packaging you'll get all of the time, but it's the packaging that I got. Quite a nice box it comes in. Leave that there. Underneath you have Victorinox 5-year warranty, and in here you've got a quick guide to the I.N.O.X, and also it comes with a plastic bezel that you can put on it. I'll discuss that in a bit. I will leave it out just to come back to it in a moment, but I'll put all this stuff back and then we'll get on with the watch. As I said in the description, I bought mine from TK Maxx and I paid £160. For those of you that hung on, they did go down to £128. So if you got it for 128, well done, because I thought I'd had a right touch getting it for 160. Prior to seeing this on TK Maxx, they normally retail for sort of £500 these watches. So when I saw it, I had to blag it to my missus to get it, and then I was really happy with it. And yeah, I was still happy with it, but knowing I paid £32 more than I had to stings a little bit, but such is life. But this is the watch. As I said, it's the I.N.O.X. I've got the one with the green dial. Inside it runs a quartz movement. It should be a Swiss quartz movement, given the fact it's a Swiss brand, Victorinox. And the back is a screw down case back, stainless steel, just denoting the fact it's an army watch, and it has quartz, stainless steel and sapphire crystal in the dial. So the case material, crown guards, crown, fixed bezel, case back as I've alluded to. The bracelet and the clasp are all 316L stainless steel, and the case thickness is 14mm. The case diameter from one side to the other side is 43mm, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it becomes 48mm. The lug width is 21mm, and the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 52mm. So not a small watch, but it does wear reasonably well, and we'll come back to that in a moment. As I said, the bezel type is fixed and it's brushed, but they have done some chamfered edges on the corners to sort of round off, because otherwise it'd be circular obviously, but they've rounded it off and done a polished edge to those, and that looks quite nice. It just adds a bit more of a bling to the watch. But yeah, not that you're looking for it in this type of watch, but you have it anyway. The crown is signed, and it is a screw down crown. And one thing I will say, the crown guards are done very, very well. They offer such protection but they don't impede your ability to get at the crown, which is something that's quite common if you have crown guards. They're quite easy to get wrong from my experience. And as I said, the strap material is stainless steel. And again, I like the way they've done the bracelet. They've got larger links at the top, which you can't adjust, and then it comes down to smaller links. I had to take 5 links out for myself to fit it for myself, but they are quite small links. They are, one link is the equivalent to 2, as you can see. Yeah, 1 link is equivalent to 2 that you would take out, so that would be sort of 2.5. I probably would have had to take 2 out, micro adjustment and so on and so forth. But then saying that, I have had to use the 3rd level of micro adjustment, just because I couldn't be bothered to take out another link. So that was just me being lazy. So I probably could have got away with taking 6 out, which would have been the equivalent of 3, I suppose. The clasp is done very, very well. It's a fully milled clasp. It is signed on the safety catch. Then you open it, and it's just friction. You pull it open, and there you have the milled clasp. It does have an extension on it. There you are. You've got the extension on it. Only pressed, but it does add a bit of versatility, so you can easily expand it if you want to do anything. And it is a watch that will go anywhere, and I'll come to that in a moment. The crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal, and it's a flat bit of sapphire crystal. I can't see any AR coating on it, but it is very legible given the layout of the dial. The water resistance on this watch, as you might be able to make out down at the 6, is 200 meters. So 20 atmospheres, you can do anything you really want with this watch. And a lot of people refer to this watch as being bomb-proof, just because it's basically a watch that you can use for anything. And the weight of the watch will appear in the top right-hand corner, approximately 206 grams, give or take, but I'm sure you won't hold it against me. The dial, we'll go to in a bit more detail. I think the dial is really, really nice. They've got the rehaut, but on the rehouts, obviously it's raised, and they've applied a minute track on that rehaut, which stands out really nicely. You've got applied indices all the way around inside the rehaut, so buttons at every hour. You've got the logo at the 12, Victorinox Swiss Army just below at the 12. At the 6 o'clock, you've got 200 meters, 660 feet water resistance. And at the 4:30 position, you have the date. And because it's a quartz movement, as I unscrew the crown, what will happen is I can pull it all the way out. Obviously, it will stop. Put it into the first position. I can change the date if it allows me to. And if I pull it back out to the second position again, it will hack and I can change the time. I've just set the time, so I've got no real desire to go through that process again. Missed 19, but yeah, so very, very easy to use as you'd expect with a quartz watch. And the one real positive from my standpoint is the fact that it's so easy to change the battery, where it's just a screw back. Certain case backs are a little bit difficult to deal with. I think this one would be quite easy. Change the battery, off you go. I think this watch would serve you greatly for a long, long time. But yeah, let's do that back up. So that's the dial, and it's also got pretty good lume on it, and I'll show you that at the end. But let's pop it on the wrist. As I said, I've already signed it for my wrist, so it should fit okay for me now. And that's what it looks like on my wrist. As I've said before, my wrist is a 7¼ inch wrist. As you can see, it's signed, and it wears quite well. I don't think it wears too heavy, but I think that's because the weight is distributed throughout the watch. It's not just the case, which I would admit is very, very heavy, but also the bracelet, where it's stainless steel, it's very substantial, so the weight is distributed evenly. And so if you was to wear this on a NATO, for instance, I think you might come a cropper, just because it's going to be a bit of a nightmare wearing it on that type of strap, given the fact then it will be very top heavy. But yeah, that takes me on to the things I think are pants and pukka. So what I'd go for is pants, as I always do first. The second hand alignment, if you guys are watching in my videos, you know my quartz pieces, it gives me the ump a little bit when they don't line up, and unfortunately it's the same with this Victorinox, although that seems to be quite common with Victorinox quartz watches. Some of them line up, some of them don't. Bit of a shame. For my OCD, it's not ideal, but I do still like this watch, so it doesn't really matter. And as I alluded to at the start of the video, this plastic shroud bezel thing they've given me, for love nor money, I can't get it on. So plus also I don't really know why I'd want to wear it if I have it on there. I'm not blown away by it, if I'm honest. I think I'd have it without. Some people might like it with, but I don't see what it offers the watch, to be honest. On there it says the time, so it will say 10, 22, 2, and 14 and so on and so forth. But I know how to tell the time, so I mean, I don't know what it's going to offer me. So yeah, I'd go with a second-hand alignment and the plastic bezel. And what I think is pukka is the dial. I like the fact that it's so legible. I like the fact it gives you a date combination. It's got good lume, and I think the proportions are nice. I do like the rehaut with the minute track on it. Really, really nice. I do like the fact they've got the raised bezel above the sapphire crystal. Again, just offering a bit more protection for the crystal. Even though it's sapphire, it's nice to have a little bit of protection. The bracelet I really like. And I do like the end links. They're a bit unusual. They fit to the case very nicely, so it's flat, but they do curve in and offer some leeway. So it's very flexible. It's sort of similar to what you get on a Seiko Monster, but not exactly the same. And the clasp, as I say, the fully milled clasp is a really nice touch. I know some of these don't come on this type of clasp. They got a different sort of setup where the metal goes in and clamps down, but this one is nice. And also, as I said, the extension on it, nice, bit, again, functional. The lume, as I've alluded to already, lume for this type of watch is very, very nice, and I think you could get away with wearing this watch in most situations. And in terms of the bracelet, again, I do like the polished center parts of the links. Again, they won't really get scuffed up too easy where they're hidden, but as you wear it and it conforms to the wrist, you get to see that bit more bling, because most of the watch is brushed. And the durability, as I said, a lot of people say this watch is bomb-proof and it will just withstand so much, and I can't disprove that. It feels very well made, very, very heavy, as the 200 grams will tell you. And yeah, so that's to surmise what I think is pukka is the dial, the raised fixed bezel, the bracelet, the clasp with the diver's extension, the lume, and the durability of the watch. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this watch in the comment section, and let me know what any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the best.